Hello everyone, Mason here. How you doing? Welcome to a Monday evening with Mason in the dark. I found this so much fun last time that I thought that I'd do it again. But unlike last time, I'm not coming in with absolutely no idea what to do. I've actually done a little bit of prep, done some professional working, and we're going to see what's what. So just to give you a little rundown of what we're going to do tonight, it's basically just a freestyle Q&A, by which I mean I've got some random questions that I've plucked from here, there and everywhere on the internet, and I'm going to answer them even though nobody asked me to. It's just a good framework of to work off to do it. And once people get in here, you're welcome to ask questions yourself or give your own answers to the questions that get asked, and we're just going to have a bit of a chat and a bit of fun. So, how are you guys today? When you get here, you should tell me how you're doing. I'm doing all right. I've been working hard on the bleeding ground, putting in a few hours each day trying to get some writing done. I spent yesterday just polishing up the scenes that I've written so far, working on the dialogue a bit, trying to make it feel a bit more natural. And it's going really, really well. I'm actually quite enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to sharing this next volume with you guys. I thought a little bit about the dead silence issue because last time I had to check the chat every 2 minutes and it just wasn't working because I had to try and get the talkback to read it out, and I couldn't do that and talk at the same time. So there was just big patches of dead silence. Luckily for me, I have a partner who's amazing and willing to do things for me. So she's helping me out tonight. So hopefully there shouldn't be as much dead silence. So now that a few of you are here, I think it would be a decent time to get working on the questions. So I'm going to get the first one up and then we'll get on with it. I hope you guys are all having a good day because I am. It's been, I've been quite excited to do this actually. I knew pretty much straight away after last time that I wanted to do another one because I just had so much fun with it. But I did want to come back with something to do, hence the Q&A thing. So, the first question is this. If you could get away with any crime, which one would you commit? An interesting one, especially as a crime fan. It'd be nice to get away with something. And I think I would probably go with some sort of elaborate. It's funny that it'd be elaborate considering that it totally doesn't need to be, but I would probably go with some sort of elaborate heist, some sort of art gallery or a museum, some sort of priceless jewel. I think that'd be mint. Getting away with that, just sitting there like a dragon with your hoard of treasure, knowing that you got away with this crime of the century and nobody's ever going to catch you. It'd be wicked. I do feel a bit like a dragon, to be honest, even though I don't own any treasure. I feel like I'd like to. Just shiny jewels that I could sit atop. A big mountain of them that I could just sit on top of. What about you guys? If you could get away with a crime, which one would you commit? Would it be as big and grand as mine? Or would you just, I don't know, steal some chocolate from the shop? Or what's a fairly innocuous crime? Oh, Mason, I'd actually quite like to vandalise my neighbour's house. Well, I can see why. Your neighbour is an idiot. The next question is, can you do the splits? No, I can't. No, I absolutely cannot. As a teenager, I used to be quite flexible. I could never do the splits, but I could do the crab, and I could go from the standing position into the crab, and I was very, very proud of it and would basically show it to anyone who would watch. "Hey, random stranger on the street, you wanna see me do the crab?" And I love how that voice, like, changed as I was going through it. Started off like, "Hey, Mason," and by the end of it, "Would you like to see me do the crab?" But no, I used to be able to go down into the crowd and I'd show anyone who would watch. Um, I remember one time after school, I think it was like a after school drama club sort of thing. I did the crab, showed it off, everyone was like, "Yeah, well impressed." And then I went and jumped on my friend's back and split my trousers right down the arse. Just because, of course I did, because that's the kind of look I have. How do you feel about cliffhangers? Well, I think on the surface, I feel like they're a good thing. Because at the end of the day, if you're going through a series, whether it's a TV show or a book, you you need something to keep you going. But at the same time, in execution, man, cliffhangers are just they're just the worst. Mentioned last time that I'd been watching Peaky Blinders, and I got to the end of season 5, and there is one hell of a cliffhanger for that, which, to be honest, would have been very, very annoying if I'd have been waiting for it to come out for like an entire year. I mean, I had a mini experience of that because I thought the whole show was up on Netflix, but it wasn't. Only the first 5 series were, and the last series, series 6, isn't going up until October 3rd. So I watched the whole show thinking I was going to be able to binge the whole thing, and then got to the end of season 5, and it was like, "Ah, you're gonna have to wait a couple of weeks, and it was incredibly annoying, so I can't even imagine what it would have been like for people who needed to wait an entire year. It just depends. I think it depends when it comes to a cliffhanger. It's A, how good is it? B, how dramatic is it? Because being dramatic and being good aren't, they're not mutually exclusive. You know, what they can be one and not the other. And it also depends on how long you have to wait. What about you guys? How do you guys feel about cliffhangers? What is your least favorite book to movie adaptation? This one is a pretty simple one, actually. Without a doubt, the most disappointed I've ever been going from a book to a movie was the Cirque du Freak series, written by Darren Shan. I was so excited. I was so excited when I saw that it was going to get made into a film. But unfortunately, what they chose to do with it was turn what is essentially a pretty dark tale. I mean, it's not as dark as the Demonata, but it is essentially a very dark tale. And they just decided to Hollywoodize it. Hollywoodize? Hollywoodify? I don't know. Fuck knows what the name would be. But yeah, they just turned it all Hollywood and they leaned really hard into, the wacky comedic side of it, and it just totally didn't work for the aesthetic of the series. Plus, what they did was force the first 3 books into 1 movie, which I guess can kinda make sense logically because they did put the first 3 books into 1 volume because they split the series down into, like, 4. Yeah, I think it was 4 collections of 4 because there was 12 series, 12 entries into the series. So it makes sense that they would have put the movie as the first 3, but at the same time, it just didn't work, and it just well, it's not a franchise that you know, is it? So that proves how successful that was. Let's get another question. Ah, speaking of long series, how many books is too many books for a series? Well, because I'm a fence sitter, I don't have a solid answer for that. I think I think it really depends on what kind of series you're reading. If it's one long story, I think I'd probably start getting a bit fed up after 4. You could maybe get me to read 5, but if it gets to the point where you're like, "Hey Mason, you should read this series. It's amazing. It's the best series ever." Okay, how many books are in it? Not that that'd be the first thing that I'd ask, but for the sake of this argument, let's say that. Okay, how many books are in it? There are 17 books. I'd be like, "Nah, nah, mate, I don't have time for that. I've got stuff to be doing. I've got stories to be writing. I've got a life to live. I'm not investing in a series that has 17 books." At the same time, though, um, one of the reasons that the Cirque du Freak series worked with 12 books was because all of the books individually were really short. I think on Audible they're about 4 hours long. And then when it comes to, say, a crime series, they tend to be episodic in nature. You can drop in at any point in the series, unless there's an overarching story that you really need to know, of which I haven't read any detective series that are like that so far. You can just drop in at any time and just follow the detective over a particular case, and it's one insular story. So if it's that sort of series, then I don't really think it matters how many books there are, because if you're going for the Detective Inspector Mason in the Dark series and there's 55 books, unless you're a real completionist, that doesn't really matter because you can just pick up any of them. So yeah, if it's one continuous story, I'd probably prefer a trilogy would probably be the sweet spot. 4 would be okay. 5 would be right, you're taking the piss now. Let's do a would you rather. Okay, this one's a good one. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. Would you rather accidentally kill the last remaining I just my mind just completely went blank there. Would you rather kill the last remaining member of an endangered species or have every inch of your body stung by nettles? Well, this is easy. I just wipe that species off the planet, mate. I would not be getting stung by nettles. Not again. As a kid, I was on what sorry, I'm just getting the voice of God in my ear. Yeah, depending on how good the species is, depends on whether or not I'd be willing to wipe it out. If it was some lame species like, I don't know, ducks, it's like, yeah, there's plenty of other birds. They're all the same. They all have beaks and and wings, and they're all just the same. But yeah, as a kid, Lady Jane Books, welcome in. Nice to see you, buddy. How you doing? Just discussing whether or not I'd want to be nettled all over or wipe out an entire species. Well, not an entire species. That's a completely different thing, isn't it? The wiping out the entire species is me systematically finding each and every one of them and wringing their little necks, as opposed to accidentally killing the last member of the endangered species. But yeah, I'm glad you could catch it too, Jane. I'm really glad you could catch it. I struggle to decide what time to do this because I don't want to go too late for me because selfishly I like to get in bed at like, oh, I don't know, any time between 8 o'clock and 8:30. I'm an I'm an old man. What was that? Sorry. It is a very casual conversation. Listen, if you walked into a cafe and you saw two people discussing whether or not they wanted to get nettled or kill an endangered species, you can't say that you wouldn't be sipping on your coffee listening to that conversation and joining in your head. I haven't actually answered it though. As a kid, I went on a bike ride with my mum and dad, and we were riding down. I don't remember whether it was a canal or a river. It was a body of water that went in a straight line. Um, and I was riding along with no top on because, I'm just a kid and it's cool. And I completely lost control of my bike and just went straight off into the nettles. And needless to say, I stung quite a large proportion of my body. And I know that pain and I remember that pain. And that's why the species would be dead. Because I ain't having that again, mate. How about you, Jane? Nettles or wiping out the endangered species? Okay, let's go with the blindness question. Do blind people look at things? Now, I'm really sorry because whenever I do blindness questions on this channel, I hardly ever do actual serious questions because let's face it, you don't come to me for serious issues. You don't come to me for enlightenment. If you were going to try and educate yourself about blind people, you would go and find someone who actually had a serious bone in their body, and I don't have that. So, yep, well, 100% Jane, inserting yourself in the conversation would be advised, to be honest. I think it'd be mandatory, in fact. If that conversation was going on and you didn't get involved, I mean, I'd be pretty disappointed in you. But yeah, when it comes to blind questions, I just prefer doing the stupid ones because it makes me laugh that people ask certain questions. Do blind people look at things? I mean, yes, we look at them, we just don't see them. I actually had a friend whose boyfriend was freaked out by the fact that I looked directly at him while we were having a conversation. So I'd never met this boyfriend before, and I was around my friend's house, and he came in, and we sat and had a conversation. It was nice. And then later that night, when I was at home, my friend texted me and was like, "You're never gonna guess what X just said." So I'm like, "What?" She goes, "He's genuinely confused as to how you looked right at him while you were having a conversation." And it's like, "Well, yes, because my ears work and I know where you are in the room, so I'm just going to turn my head in that direction." Sometimes, oh, Jane, stop lying. I know you think you couldn't. I know you think you couldn't hurt an endangered species, but if you were there and you were faced with the nettles, and then you had the duck in front of you, and ducks are endangered, or you can have every inch of your body stung with nettles. I don't believe you. Sorry, what was that, God? Yeah, all ducks. If you had them in front of you and they were endangered, I I don't. How many different species of ducks are there? I know. I've just realised why God was making. I'm gonna stop calling you God now. I'm just gonna refer to you as Lee. Uh, I just realised why Lee was taking a jab at me about ducks there because I'm grouping them all into one species as if they're all one thing. But yeah, I don't believe that you would choose to keep the species. Ducks are worth it. Are they really though? You're not even allowed to feed them bread anymore. In this woke snowflake world, you're not allowed to feed ducks bread anymore. Back in my day, we used to go down the park with a loaf of bread. Only the stale one though, because you're not gonna buy ducks a full loaf of bread. We go down there and we feed them 3 loaves. But you can't do that anymore. You gotta feed them seeds and healthy nonsense like that. So yeah, are they really worth it? I d as a funny sort of related note, for a long time I was terrified of geese, and I say a long time as if as if I'm over that fear now, which I'm totally not. But no, for a long time I was even more terrified of geese than I am currently because this is such a stupid story. Um, So as a kid, we went to go and feed the birds by whatever body of water we'd chosen, and I had my bread, and this goose started getting all aggro and was coming towards me threateningly. He had a machete and a pipe in his mouth, and it started running at me and snapping. And rather than throwing the bread, which would have been the logical move to do, as pointed out by Lee when I told her this story in future, as opposed to dropping the bread and running away, I ran with the bread. So the goose chased me. And after that, I was absolutely terrified of them. And even to this day, I still can't walk past one without thinking, right, if this comes near me, I'm going to kick it in the head. Oh yeah, okay, okay. As long as you're willing to get rid of geese, I can work with you on that. That's a decent compromise. That's really nice, though. That's really nice, though, that you've been feeding generations of ducks. I just love the idea that it's this like multi-generational story, and like we've been going to this yard for generations. We have feathered rage tanks. Yes, I completely agree. Welcome in, guys. Zach and Kate from Adventurous Publications. Those two were the guys that got me into live streams. Sorry, what was that, Lee? Reading this live. MJ, welcome in. Nice to see you again. Thanks ever so much for joining us. If you guys don't know what we're doing, so right now I'm just firing off uh, a freestyle Q&A, answering questions that you guys ask or that nobody's asked because I've just got a big list of prompts, and we're just going to see where that takes us. So, and I've got I pause every now and again, it's because I do have my producer Lee in my ear feeding me the information, and I do occasionally need to stop to listen. All right, Jane, thanks ever so much for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure you have a good one. Yeah, I love how in regards to what you guys said at pub. Uh, yeah, I love how this is the first time that you're meeting Lee and you're still not actually getting to meet her. It's kind of like this channel. I said to Lee the other day, it's kind of like Wizard of Oz, but where I'm the voice of the wizard, and then you pull back the curtain, and it's just Lee sitting behind there. I get all the credit, and she just feeds me all the funny lines and does all the editing and stuff, and I'm just a hack fraud who pretends to be good at this. Okay, so Adventurous Publications asked, "What's my favorite color?" Being an absolute dickhead as usual, asking a blind person their favorite color, but it's okay because I presume that it's Zach in control of the keyboard. Uh, oh yeah, he's yeah. Sorry, I apologize. I did forget that Lee said you said Kate was MIA. Yeah, it's okay though, because I can forgive you asking that question because you know that I used to be able to see. It's pretty easy. My favorite color is teal. It's just a really nice color. Plus, as I mentioned on last live stream, I'm a big fan of Wentworth, the Australian prison show, and teal is a massive color in that show, and it's what made me fall in love with it. Actually, I not even kidding, 100% have a teal wall in my flat. So, a blindness question: do blind people smile? So I never actually answered, "Do blind people look at things?" Oh no, I did because I told the story. About I'm so good at this. Lime green is a nice color, but it's not what I would choose over everything. I can't imagine having a lime green wall in my flat, even though I've got the teal one. And what was that last one? Ah, ocean blue. Yeah, blue used to be my favorite, and I guess it still is because is teal blue or green? J- yeah, it's a green, I guess. Uh, Hey Sam, welcome in, mate. How you doing? I hope you're having a nice night. I am looking forward to our conversation tomorrow because I will be live on Green Assignment. Ugh, I just, oh my god, I'm not good at this at all. Am I just butchering your name? I will be live on Greener Side of Sam's channel tomorrow at 4 p.m. GMT, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I got that right. And we'll be doing Two Truths and a Lie, which I'm really looking forward to. I can't wait. Yeah, not gonna take opinions on what teal is from the colorblind one. That's like me telling you whether somebody is attractive or not. Uh, as for whether blind people smile or not, I mean, I know personally that I don't. I just, I don't have anything to smile about. My life is just, well, I'm blind. So obviously, why would I have anything to smile about? It obviously my life is just devoid of happiness, and I haven't smiled in years. I hope that answers that question. Do blind people swim? You know, I'm sure they do, but I haven't. Since losing my sight, I do genuinely enjoy swimming, and I always have done. Although I couldn't swim properly until I was like 18 years old. I mean, I wasn't going to drown, but I didn't get down any proper techniques until I was like 18. But I genuinely enjoy swimming. However, I haven't been since becoming totally blind because it just feels a bit weird, like the idea of being submerged completely under the water and possibly losing which direction I'm facing, and it just seems kind of freaky. So I haven't been yet. So, do blind people swim? Yes, I'm sure they do, although I've never seen any evidence for it. But this blind person does not currently. We've got another would you rather here. So I want to hear what you guys have to say on this one too. Would you rather be present to see the world being created or ending? That's an interesting one. I'm not particularly sure. Yeah, that's a good point. The blind surfer dude does definitely swim, so that is evidence. That is evidence that they do. Although technically he rides the water. What was that, Lee? Sorry. Ah, right. Yeah, I don't know what I would go with in terms of this would you rather. I think on one hand it'd be really interesting to see how the world would end, but probably just nuclear weapons if we're being honest. And then seeing how it got created would answer some major questions about the universe. So, yeah, I think I'd probably go with I'd want to be present to see it being created rather than ending because if because I'm presuming that in this situation, I mean, I don't know why I'm saying presuming because I'm making the situation up. So in this situation, it's you go, you're present, you see it happening, and then you come back to your actual life. And I think if you went and saw how the world would end, you would have to come back to your life and you would have that knowledge, and it would just be yeah, it'd just be really hard to live with that knowing what was coming, especially if like it happened fairly soon. Like if you knew that the world was going to end in like 3 years, it'd just be really hard not to slip into some nihilistic, uh, like existential crisis of why, what's the point of anything? Yeah, it did kind of get heavy towards the end there, MJ. Sorry about that. And, yeah, Zach, I think origin story is probably the better way to go with that. And, yeah, I reckon you're probably right. It won't be nukes. I mean, I wish I could say that for sure, but I can't. So let's move on from that before I have an existential crisis. Let's. Hmm. What would my superpower be? It's. I don't want to just go for like one of the standard powers. What would be something that'd be cool that I haven't really seen done before, or at least not many times before? How about this is a real dick move. What about the power to take away people's sneezes right before they actually sneeze? So when you see the person doing like the I'm gonna sneeze sort of face, and then you just like point at them and it takes the sneeze away, and it's the shittest villain power ever. Um, yes, that is definitely a troll power, isn't it? If we're going for a serious power, I mean, I'd probably go for the like knowing everything about whatever you touched. Because just imagine being able to go into a library and just being able to touch all the books and having all of that knowledge just beamed instantly into your head, or being able to touch a guitar and instantly knowing how to play it as well as possible. So I think in terms of a serious superpower, that would be what I'd go for. I'm just getting a comment in my ear. Who was that? I'm sorry, I'm just yeah, Zach, actually, yeah, that would, being able to induce. You're calling me a troll for trying to take people's sneezes away. You want to induce insanity. That's I mean, that's a fairly dangerous power to have, Zach. Mine's innocuous. Mine is sitting on the bus, seeing someone sneezing or getting ready to and taking it away. Yours is, "This person's pissed me off, and now I'm going to literally drive them insane." Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. You didn't say that you wanted that, no. I think that you do have that power because you drive me insane every single time I have to talk to you, so, yeah, you're probably right, that would be your power. Let's g let's go with right after that little jab that I just took at Zach, let's go with another question, which is, do blind people have friends? Yes, they do, until they get onto a live stream and and take the piss out of them, and then they have no friends left. I mean, again, it's one of those, isn't it? Do blind people have friends? Yes, I'm sure some of them do. This one doesn't. No, nobody truly likes me. All right, Sam. See you later, mate. Thanks for dropping in, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. But now, I have very few friends now, which isn't necessarily something that I think is bad. I mean, I think that it's actually just a fact of being an adult. Because adolescence tricks you into thinking that you're gonna have these friends forever, right? All of like popular culture and media, it all trains you as a teenager to think like, I'm gonna be like the people from Friends. I'm gonna have these people who are my friends well into my 30s, and we're gonna meet up all the time, and we're always gonna be around each other's houses, and we're all gonna have parties, and it's just not. From what I've seen, the overwhelming adult experience doesn't seem to be like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I hear plenty of people that do have loads of friends, but they seem to be the lucky few, not they seem to be the exception to the rule, not the actual rule itself. I have Dan, cheers for dropping in, brother. Yes, that's I was literally just about to mention him. He is the one friend that I still have from high school, so everyone say hi to the OG Dirty Dan. What was that last one, Lee? Kate isn't MIA anymore, she's here. Welcome in, Kate, from Wild Writer. Wild Writer, you are awesome. You get that, Zach didn't. Not showing favoritism there at all. Yeah, Kate, I know I have friends. It's just funny, it's a joke that I'm a lonely, miserable bastard. It's I the best friend I haven't met in real life. You're a friend I haven't met in real life. You're the you're the worst best no, would he be the worst best friend or the best worst friend? I am purely joking, Zach. I'm just trying to yeah, you do. Yeah, you see how it is. Are you really surprised though after the banter that we have over on your channel, Adventurous Publications, and if you are feeling adventurous, the YouTube channels. Head over there if you want to see some reaction content, because there's lots of it, and I'm even on some of it. Let's go with another question. Sweet or savory? What do you guys prefer? I am definitely a sweet person. And I live with the complete opposite because Lee is entirely not entirely, she does like sweet, but she's mostly savory, whereas in I can eat sweet from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to sleep, whereas in Lee needs that palate cleanser of something salty. But I will what I like is sugar sweet? Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I couldn't I misheard what she said then. Yeah, I don't know. I are tears not your sweet, Zach? Other people's tears of misery. But yeah, I totally I will take cake and chocolate over crisps and real food any day. If I could if I could eat chocolate from now till I die and not die of eating chocolate, I would. You are correct, Citizen Kate. When you live in the People's Republic of Peace, Love, and Freedom, you are never alone at any time. Oh, MJ, I had so much hope for you. I thought I thought we were gonna be kindred spirits, and now you're a traitor. Delicious tears. I wouldn't know. I'm not that much of a sadist. I know that you would personally go around licking the tears of your enemies, but I go around wiping them away and trying to tell them to chin up because it'll all be okay. Yeah, well, you do have to choose. That's the entire point of the game, MJ. You do have to choose, and you chose wrong, and now you're on my bad side, MJ. Mm, I mean, you could go around licking up blood. It's just you have to spill it first, and there's ethical problems with that, ethical and moral issues that you're going to run into if you try to spill people's blood. It's probably easier to just make them cry. So yes, although you do prefer blood to tears, you're probably better just getting used to having the tears, mate. You're a mean baker. Does that mean that you shout at the cakes while you're making them? You're not rising fast enough. You're useless. No, I can imagine. I can imagine from the way you talk about food on your channel when you do. I believe that you would be a very good baker. I'm not. I've never really baked anything in my life, to be honest. I mean, I have, but never anything good. In school, I made a pizza for what would be called food technology, and it was terrible. I mean, it wasn't even a pizza. It was it was dough with cheese and tomato sauce on top, and it was basically bread rather than a pizza base. It was awful, and my family luckily had the good grace to be like, Mason, this is so nice. Pass me the water. Pass me the water. I'm choking to death. Mason, so good." Why do you fail me every time, Cake? Yeah, hemo farming. Sounds like it could be a business for Splatter, the premium blood subscription service. For just nine, for just 666 per month, we'll send you a bottle of blood directly to your door. It's ethically sourced for our team of volunteers. I mean, why do you fail me every single day, Zach? That's my question. Every day that you don't put out the audiobook for Garden of Fate. No, that's god damn it. Um, um, and now I'm unsure of which one. Which one is your bloody third one? Which one's your second one? Who did? Don't you put sad faces at me, Zach? Using emojis against your blind friend. You see, guys, this is why I'm taking so many jabs at him. Because this is the kind of thing he does. He just randomly sends me emojis and sometimes images that I presume are of his penis, but I wouldn't know. Ah, Garden of Hope is number two. Yes, yes, I got it wrong because that's about how much I care. Alright, let's go for another question. Oh, this one's a good one, guys. What is one article of clothing that somebody could wear that would make you walk out on a date with them? So you go on a date with somebody and they come in and they're wearing one article of clothing that makes you walk out. What is it? What was that, Lee? Whatever, Zach. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, imagine if they just walked in with the fake mustache, nose, glasses combo. That'd be pretty ridiculous, but I don't know whether I'd walk out because of it. Do shoes count? I mean, it dep what do you mean by that? Is this a situation where you're walking out on somebody because they're wearing shoes to a date? Because if so, you're very surprising, MJ. Say again. That's two of you saying Crocs now. Not a good okay, now everyone is agreeing on Crocs. Well, I better go and take my shoes off then, hadn't I? Because I'm sitting here in well in nothing because as we established last time I do these live streams naked. Naked except for the Crocs that I'm wearing. I don't know what would make me walk out on it. I mean, I don't know if I would walk out on somebody because it'd just be so awkward. What would I do? Like the whole I'm just going to the bathroom. Oh, by the way, could you guide me to the door? The outside door. Yeah, I'm going to the bathroom that you can access from the street, not the one that you can access from the restaurant. Oh, what could they wear that would make me wear uh, Piers Morgan cosplay. If they come in with Piers Morgan cosplay, I would walk out immediately. The Croc Tribe. You have now been dubbed for this episode the Croc Tribe. Yep, we'll go with the next one now. Would you rather have two extra fingers or toes? See, this one's a difficult one, right? Because having two extra fingers, visually, people are going to see that. So you're going to get asked about it more. But if they were actually functioning fingers, that'd be pretty useful. Whereas in, yeah, if you were gonna have two extra toes, yes, okay, nobody can see that, so you're not gonna get asked about it as much. It's something that you can keep secret, keep to yourself, unless you want to tell people because it's a party trick or whatever. But you've got to try and find shoes that fit, and I mean, we're evolved so that the amount of toes that we have work perfectly for our balance. So if you have two extra toes on each foot, that's going to knock your balance off. I mean, maybe it'd help you balance better because you'd have more of a surface area, but you've learnt to walk with the feet that you've got. So I think I would go with fingers, even though it would make. Luckily, luckily, we are moving into a world where people maybe wouldn't ask you about it quite as much because they'd be like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to say that sort of thing to people." But I think on balance, it'd be worth it to not have my walking screwed up. See, I like the practicality there, MJ. I present you with this scenario, and you're like, "I can carry extra books. I can I can put more shopping bags on my hand and laden myself down even more." I just love the practicality behind that. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here like thinking about the actual mechanics of getting around, and you're being a consumerist. I'm just kidding, MJ. Zach. I just walk around with bare feet. I just show people. Look at this. The, see, this is why we can't let you out in public, Zach. This is why you have to stay in the basement because you can't just go around whipping your feet out and showing random people on the bus. It's not good. People don't want to see that. Oh, Pax, work is interfering. That's just tell them to go do one. Losing your job, it's not that bad. It means that you get to sit and watch the live more. Um, on balance, I think losing your job's probably worth it. So just tell them to stick it. Thanks for showing up though, mate. It's nice to see you. Well, no, nobody can stop you doing that, Zach, but it's not a socially acceptable thing to do. We really need to send you back to school, Zach. We really do, because you need to be taught the social conventions. If you don't realize it's unacceptable to show your feet to random people, you need education. I will never let him out of the basement. Listen, I've told you before, I don't care about Bob's knees. I'm keeping Zach in the basement, and that's where he's staying until he learns that he can't show his feet to people. Let's go with another question. I think we'll go with a blindness one this time. You will never be free, Zach. You will remain in your cell until I tell you you can leave, citizen. So yeah, blindness question. Can blind people run? See, what is it? What is it with these questions? People, it's like people think once you go blind, you just lose all function. Do they look at things? Do they smile? Do they swim? Do they run? It's like, I mean, at least swim and run makes sense to me, I guess. Yes, we do run. It's not advised because things get in the way, like lampposts and curbs and people. But yeah, no, I can't remember the last time I ran anywhere. Zach, stop arguing, mate. I've told you, you're not getting free. I've put you under a triple deadlock, and that's where you're staying. I I know what it's like now. I know what it's like trying to run a prison. Keeping you in there is just impossible, and I feel sorry for anyone who actually has to run a real life prison and keep, actual criminals in rather than just delinquents. Listen, listen, Kate. Don't be coming into my space and trying to undermine me and saying that I don't have any power because I do. I have all the power. I am everywhere and nowhere, and I can do anything if I put my mind to it. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite blind question I've ever seen. Get ready for this one. Can blind people get pregnant? I mean, yes. Why is this a question? Why do people think that as soon as you go blind, your body loses all function? Yes, of course, blind people can get pregnant. 50% of them at least. It, it's just like, it's. I I don't know, Zach. I genuinely don't know. It's just, why? What? It sort of seems backhanded, to be honest. It's like, well, if they're blind, obviously nobody's going to have sex with them. It's just so stupid. I don't. There are some that I can sort of entertain, right, and be like, yeah, okay, I can see why that would be a question that you would ask. But can blind people get pregnant? Just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. You would jump at the chance to date a blind girl. Zach. Oh, Zach, for God's sake. You're the worst, mate. You're the worst. Because like what? I just I hate you, mate. I really do. Because you just spout these positively ableist things. I jump at the chance to date a blind girl. I hate you so much, Zach. Why? Apparently I've just dissed Lee now. Well, well, of course it's ableist because you're saying I want to date this girl because she's blind. No, I want to date this girl and oh, she happens to be blind. But because yeah, because you're dating her because you want to troll her. Like you literally said, I would love to date a blind girl. I'd troll her so bad. In what way is that not ableist, Zachary? Can you catch blindness like you catch a disease? Well, my first reaction to that is no, of course you can't, because I've been around people for a long time and nobody's ever caught it off me. But then at the same time, in the last 9 years since I've been with her, Lee has had to start wearing glasses. So maybe you can. Maybe you can catch it. Sorry, producer, repeat that. Oh well, no, no. Obviously, if she was compatible with you and she happened to be blind, that it really doesn't matter. I was only screwing with you about the ableist thing anyway. But yeah, obviously it wouldn't make you think twice because you know blind people and it's fine. My entire point was if you were dating her because she was blind, that would be kind of weird. Who is? All right, MJ. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. It was really nice to see you, and I hope that you have a good one. I really do appreciate you stopping by. Well, if there is anybody that I would give blindness to on purpose, it would be you, Zach. I would give it to you. If I could bottle my blood, put it in a vial, put it in a vaccine, and then jab someone in the neck and take away their sight, it would be you. I know you do believe me, and you should, because I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth, Zach. I promise. See, there are certain things that I have to do when Zach is here because he just loves the TalkTube series, which is in a playlist on this channel if you want to go and check out TalkTube Radio, the parody radio series, which features such delightful things as The Establishment with The Man and I what do we call him? Is it Chad? I can't remember now. It's Chad. Yeah, Chad the X-Phone Smart Droid Model 5 guy. The new X-Phone Smart Droid Model 5 is exactly the same as the Model 4, but it's milk bottle white and twice the price. I'm Chad from X-Phone Smart Droid. I promise. Any more TalkTube clips coming soon? They are difficult to do because it needs inspiration. It's one of those things where I need to I mean, it helps when I'm intoxicated in some way, shape, or form because then my mind goes to weird places that I can harness. Um, I would like to do something soon. I would like to do another Dear Mason at some point, but I'm so focused on the bleeding ground at the minute that whenever I do have some mental lubrication, it tends to go towards bleeding ground at the minute rather than talk tube. Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. TalkTube is some of the best work that I've ever done creatively. To be honest, I have a good time anytime I work on TalkTube, and yeah, I agree. It's the best other than Bleeding Ground. I enjoy BookTube content. I really do, and I have to say that because I'm on this channel. But I do enjoy doing the BookTube content, but at the same time, I struggle with it because when I'm talking about, when I'm doing a book review or something like that, I know that I read for entertainment, and I'm not as good at critical analysis as other people are. So you head over to other people's channels, like oh, actually, while we're here, I'd like to say congratulations to Chatty the Mad Chatter. I will link her in the description after this goes after we end this. But she just recently reached 100 subscribers, and I think that that's bloody awesome. And she deserves everyone. So if you don't know Chatty the Mad Chatter, uh, go over there and check her channel out because it's awesome. And if you want someone that can actually, offer some decent critical analysis, Chatty can do that. Whereas I can't. I'm a silly bugger that just likes to, that just likes to be stupid, which is why TalkTube is so much fun for me. I am 100% sure you can provide the intoxication, Dan. That's the thing that I always rely on you for. Let's go with another question. Well, going off springboarding off what we were just talking about, what are your favorite videos to make? It's actually a difficult one because if I had to choose, I would go with a creative video rather than just one of the discussion based ones. But at the same time, I've had so much fun with discussion based videos too. I think overall, my favorite videos to make, it depends. Which one do I have more fun with? I would say probably the Dear Mason episodes because they're just so much fun to, it's so much fun to sit here and do this voice and be this character for a while and just give out fantastic advice. But then, in terms of what am I most proud of, I would definitely have to go with the Bleeding Ground series because I never thought that I would come even close to writing something that I would be as proud of as I am with that series. Which was a really roundabout way of saying I never thought I'd write something that good, but I didn't want to say that because the imposter syndrome. It just prevents me from saying it. Yes, Pax. And that is why we are kindred spirits, birds of a feather, genius minds think alike. I love the vibe on your channel, Pax. I come over there, and every single video, I have something to smile about. I enjoy your energy. You're always so upbeat and ready for the video and excited about what you're talking about. And I've never walked away from one of your videos feeling less happy than I was to start with. So let's go with another question then. If you could instantly become an expert at something, what would it be? I'm interested to see what you guys have to say on that one. As for me, if I wanted, I mean, the obvious answer would be voice acting because I love doing the bleeding round stuff. I love doing talk tube stuff, and I love doing all the different voices, mate. I love doing Dylan Justice because he's so much fun. Listen, I'm a maverick and I don't like that people tell me what to do. I like doing Valdez Doyle. He's so precise and posh. He likes fresh dill with his fish. Um, what else do I like doing Dear Mason. Mason Dog, working for TalkTube. I like doing the man. I, I like doing. I'm trying to slip into Rodney is absolutely impossible now because of Tigger. Hello, Mason. I'm calling today with a delicate topic. I'm currently in possession of some meat, which I don't think Mason Dark eats people. Is that something that I've? Is that something that? Oh yes, yes. Rodney almost certainly eats people and steals animals. Yes, but yeah, I love doing all the different voices, and if I could actually do, convincing voices and a wide variety of accents, I would love to be able to do that. So yeah, I would want to be an expert in voice acting. Ah, Margaret, welcome in again. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So it's going well so far today. Doing a freestyle Q&A, just whacking out a few questions, having a bit of a chat, and it's all going really well. I'm having a good time, to be honest. How are you today, Margaret? Well, I appreciate it. I really appreciate you dropping in, and obviously, I appreciate the like, even though I never actually say that that's the case because again, I'm cripplingly awkward. And the reason I have to do the like and subscribe threats at the end of the videos is because I know from watching, advice videos on how to run a channel that telling people to like and subscribe is a good thing to do. But at the same time, I feel cripplingly awkward about it. So I'm like, how can I do this in a silly way? But yeah, if you guys want to drop a like right now, that would be much appreciated. Thanks ever so much. Too warm for autumn is definitely a bad thing. I I much prefer autumn because it's just that time where it's like it's like a breath of fresh air. It's you spend the summer just in that oppressive heat, and by mid August, I'm just begging for it to be over. So when we get to September and the weather starts cooling down, I feel so much better. So yeah, the fact that you're too warm, considering it's autumn, I feel so sorry for you. Okay, this is an interesting would you rather. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or in a coma for 10? Now, this is an interesting balance because if you're going to be in the coma, when you come around, you haven't had to live through those 10 years. I presume you don't know much time, like any time has passed, unless you're aware of it the entire time. I don't know. Anyway, in theory, you don't have to live through those 10 years and you come out of it and you haven't had to live through the crap experience of jail. On the other hand, the physical effects that would take place on your body over that decade would be pretty debilitating. So, you've got to think how much would you suffer in prison? And considering A, you're only in there for 5 years, means you probably didn't do anything too drastic, especially if you live in the UK, because our prison sentences are very short. Hey, political satire. Yeah, I did realize halfway through that the evidence sort of shows people are more conscious than you would assume for comas. Um, yeah, I think that I would choose the jail because I don't think that I would struggle that much because I would keep my head down. Judging from prison TV shows, as long as you are like quiet and you're nice to people, as long as you're not threatening, for the most part, you're gonna get left alone. So I think that I would go with that. I had to pause it for a second then because I really, really needed a drink. But what about you guys? I know Zach said that he would do the jail. Anyone else? Maybe Zach. I would I would rather be in the coma than be in a cell with you for 5 years, Zach. I can just about bear you for I don't know how long are our live streams? Like what, 3 hours, 4 hours? So that's twice a week. Got to do mental maths quickly. There's 8 hours a week. I can just about put up with you for 8 hours a week. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Jail would be better than coma. Okay, that's settled. Let's go with another one. Ah, the sassy library fox. You are awesome. How you doing, V? Nice to see you. Thanks for ever so much for showing. Why is my tongue just failing me right now? Thank you for dropping by. It's ever so nice to see you, and I really do appreciate the support. There, I finally got that out. Seriously though, thank you to everyone who's here right now. I'm having a really good time, so I appreciate it. If you don't know what we're doing at the minute, you've only just got here. We're just freestyling a Q&A, answering random questions that you guys ask or that I have prepared in advance in case nobody showed up. If you've got any questions that you want me to answer, feel free to drop them in the chat and I will happily answer them. However, as you know, I don't have a serious bone in my body, so I will try to answer you seriously if it's a very serious question, but otherwise, you're probably not going to get a serious answer out of me. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a live stream for a while, and I finally did one last week. And I was totally expecting it to be a train wreck, and it wasn't. So when I came away, I was like, you know what? I want to try and do that again. I think that I can do it a bit better. And because last time it was a totally impromptu thing, it was right. I've got nothing to do tonight. I will just go and do a live stream and see what happens. Whereas in today, I've actually had some time to prepare. Why am I so mean to you, Zach? Probably because you deserve it. It's as simple as that. I'll go for another question. I think these we've been tackling blindness questions. Would you rather? I talked a little bit about what my superpower would be, which was, if you weren't here at the time, was stealing people's sneezes right before they do them, because that's just how evil I am. So let's see what question we have next. You are not a good boy, Zach. You are the opposite of a good boy. You are a very, very naughty boy, citizen. I could not say that with a straight face. You are a naughty boy, citizen, and that is the mandate of the man. You think I protest too much? Hmm? Well, I'm not protesting, I'm stating facts. He's not a good boy. Oh, well, that'd be good though, because if you're allergic to things right now, there'd be lots of sneezes that I could steal, and you wouldn't have to do the sneezes anymore, which would be nice for you, and I'd have the satisfaction of feeling like I was doing something mischievous and stealing the sneezes. So yeah, I think we both win in that situation, V. You are correct. There are no sexual overtones because I do not have feelings. No, no, I'm super mean to him because he deserves it, mate. There's nothing to do with you. You ask anyone. I'm nice to them all the time. I am not a robot. I just don't have emotions, especially those that pertain to the physical to the physical needs that most people feel. Okay, deal. I'll steal your sneezes and we both win. I am tired of these aspersions that you are casting. You will cease and desist your inane chattering and the besmirching of my name that you are trying to partake in. I am not a robot. I am a red-blooded man. Ooh, if I could be a robot. Oh, see, I don't particularly know what the robots are like in Star Trek. I haven't watched it loads. I think I've watched some Voyager, but not much. And Star Wars, I don't think I'd want to be like the robots in Star Wars. I would be, if I could be a robot, what robot would I be? And see, yeah, the ones from iRobot, they're all like agile and shit. So, but yeah, but Terminator. No, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to be a Terminator because you don't have any fun there. People are just trying to kill you. Whatever side, whatever side you're working for, the other side are trying to kill you, and we know that they can be killed because there's a million films worth of evidence for that. There are too many films in the Terminator series. Let's just be honest. What robot would I want to be? I would want to be. Uh, my friend Dirty Dan saying R2D2 for the win. Uh, yeah, R2D2 seems. Yeah, he seems like a chill dude. I reckon I could have a beer with R2D2. Who said that? Sorry. Yeah, like I say, R2D2 seems like a chill dude. I genuinely can't think of a robot that I would want to be. I like being a human. Let's just go with I would be K9 from Doctor Who, and we'll leave it at that. Pax, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry, mate, but I haven't seen Short Circuit. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. You are a Wally, yeah. You definitely are a Wally. I don't know whether that's going to translate to him. Is a Wally something you guys understand in America? Because over here, Wally means idiot. Why am I not surprised that you've seen it though, Dan? I don't think I've actually watched Wally. I genuinely now I think about it, it's just one of those films that just came and went and passed me by, and I've never seen it. One thing that you would know, 'cause this happens all the time when I'm over on Zach and Kate's channel, where Zach's like, "Have you seen this film or this meme?" And I'm like, "No." And I just have to expose myself as this uncultured Philistine that hasn't seen all these cult classic films. Any more questions before we move on to just another one off the list? Okay, well, we're waiting for you guys to think of a question. Let's go with another would you rather. I'm interested. I think so. Before I ask this, I'm just going to check with the producer. What do you think Dan will choose? Because I think I know which one he'll choose. Ah, do you see? I think he'll choose the. I think he'll choose the opposite. Would you rather live on the moon or in the ocean? I'm really, really fascinated to see what Dan says now because me and Lee think the opposite things. But I've known you for longer, so I'm gonna get it right. I'm totally not gonna get it right now. Yes, I was right. I am vindicated. I am validated. I know Dan better. Yeah, the ocean is absolutely terrifying, and that was literally what I was gonna say. That's why I was gonna say that I would rather live on the moon because A, okay, so you live on the moon, there's no dangerous creatures up there, as far as we know, that are gonna come and get you. So, presuming that you have all the things you need to live up there, there's nothing that's gonna come and get you, and you've got an amazing view of the Earth if you're not me. Because otherwise, you guys would have an amazing view of the Earth. I wouldn't. But the ocean, you've got to go, and you're going to have to be in some sort of submarine. And there's, if you're not in a submarine, there's all sorts of creatures that are just going to. No, no, the ocean is terrifying, and the moon is the right answer. And if any of you say ocean, you're A, you're wrong, and B, you're insane. Oh, V, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but you're wrong and insane. The ocean is clearly the insane answer. I mean, there's sharks, there's jellyfish, there's whales. I saw a video yesterday of, was it killer whales? Yeah, killer whales teaming up to go after a seal, and it was like, I don't know what part of the world it was. It Antarctica? It was probably Antarctica. It was somewhere cold with lots of ice, and it was showing the ice breaking up, and this seal was like sat on the ice, and then this whale comes along and like uses two whales come along. They use their fins. I say fins. They use their tails to make a wave in the water that goes and tries to smash the seal off the ice. When that doesn't work, what? Sorry. Yeah, they were creating the wave to wash the seal off the ice, and when it didn't work, they went and fetched 2 more of their mates, so there was 4 whales all working together to create to kill this seal. That's where you want to live, V. I would presume for the purposes of this situation, you would have everything that you needed to survive in that environment. So if you were on the moon, you would have air and food, and if you were in the ocean, you would be able to breathe water. Okay, okay, I'll let you off. If you're willing to put up with the murderous whales, then you can live there, and we'll just agree to disagree, and you can go on being wrong, and I'll just have the moon. Whales are not super intelligent; they are terrifyingly intelligent. Dan, murderous whales, not for the win. No, I'm sorry. But when I saw that video, it was the most terrifying thing that I've ever seen, because it just made me realize that they're so much smarter than you think they are. Like, you're just like, "Oh, it's just a whale." But if you get stuck in their territory and they're hungry, they're gonna come after you, and they're smart enough to do it, in an intelligent way. It's terrifying. I mean, they're literally called killer whales. That's how vicious they are. It's in the name. Sea packs, me and you, birds of a feather. Kindred spirits. We both like our silly shit, and we both know that the moon is the right answer. Yeah, it would. Yeah, I get. Granted, it would be pretty terrifying to be stuck in space with no way home. But at the same time, if I was on the moon, would I want to come home? I mean, it just depends. Am I up there alone? Is Lee with me? Can I take other people with me? I guess if I have to live on my own, I mean, I'd still choose the moon, but yeah, not being able to come back would be pretty scary. But no, I couldn't choose the ocean. You're not going to change my mind, V. I'm sorry, but we'll have to disagree. Can blind people move their eyes independently? Now, I included this one on the list because I want to know, can you guys move your eyes independently? Because when I asked Lee this question, she said, not easily, no. So I'm interested. How many of you in the chat can move your eyes independently of their own, not together? No, one goes one direction, the other goes the other direction. Yeah. See, Dan, I expected that. There was there was no way that you were gonna come in. If Dan, if you could have moved your eyes independently, do you think I wouldn't have known that, buddy? That was something that you would have mentioned in the last 15 years. If you could do that and you hadn't told me about it, I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, "Why have you not told me this fact sooner?" All the times that we've sat and had a drink and just spouted random facts at each other, and you've never told me that you can move your eyes independently. As far as I was aware, that's a specialist skill. So it was just weird that somebody asked if blind people specifically could do it. You might have learnt it recently. Yeah, and just the mental image of you sitting down, watching YouTube videos of how to move your eyes independently. Why? It's so you can play Xbox with one eye and watch TV with the other, or watch wrestling with one eye and, I don't know, porn with the other. Being a chameleon would be pretty awesome. I think, it's they've always just seemed like one of the coolest animals. It's just such the fact that evolution has done that is just amazing to me, because we think of ourselves like humans, we think of ourselves as the pinnacle of evolution, but we're not, because we're not even that well adapted to living in the environments we live in. Yeah, we're good at like making things to help adapt to it, but like other creatures, like the killer whales and the chameleon, they've like adapted to survive in their environment, and it's just amazing what like nature has done to help them survive. Yeah, that's a good point. You can hide on different surfaces, and you have eyes that can move in independent situations, so no one can sneak up on you. Yeah, being a chameleon seems good now, doesn't it? He could. He, what? Kate, are you screwing with me? Okay, so not only could he move his eyes independently, he could blow milk bubbles out of his eyes. At what point in his life did he figure this out? Like, what did he have to do? Like, take a mouthful of milk, hold his breath, and push, I presume, like how you would do it with, I don't know, like bubblegum or something. That's just crazy. It's like I say, at what point in his life was he like, "You know what? I think I can push milk bubbles out of my eyes." Well, yes. Yes, you are screwing with me. Is that Yes, I've heard about that jellyfish packs. No, that's true. We definitely can't compete with that jellyfish. I mean, it's literally mastered death. Like the one thing that we just will not be able to solve, or probably won't be able to solve for a long, long time, is death. And the humble jellyfish, of all the things, like how unfair is that of evolution, right? All these cute, amazing animals out there, all the bears and I don't know, ducks, all the all the amazing animals out there that have to die. And of all the creatures that's mastered death, it has to be the one thing that makes me not want to swim in the ocean. Or one of the many, many things that makes me not want to swim in the ocean. But in all fairness, well, that's I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that you're not screwing with me on that one, Kate. That's amazing, but also kind of troubling. But yeah, jellyfish are one of the many things that make me not want to swim in the ocean, but they're also probably the predominant thing because, I mean, for the most part, if you're gonna go in the ocean in England, which if you're saying you don't anyway, but you're probably not gonna get attacked by a shark, but you're quite likely to get got by a jellyfish. So yeah, I agree that we've evolved to be very, very good at survival and probably better than anything in general. But what I'm saying is, in terms of when it comes to like cold environments, we have to find a way around it ourselves. We've got to like build warm places or get warm clothes or whatever. It's not inbuilt in our body to be like, there's something dangerous out there. I'm going to become invisible and blend in with my environment. Or like, it's getting too cold right now. I'm going to turn on this gland that makes me like that compensates for how cold I am. I mean, we probably do have something similar to that, but my point still stands. We have to find a way around nature. What I was saying is amazing is the animals that have found ways. You know, the evolution has given them ways to just do it naturally without even thinking about it. Presumably, yep, that's totally true. The universe has a sick, sick sense of humor. I know. Let's give this gross floating ball of stinging phlegm immortality because that's just the way I roll. Stupid universe. You're a bastard, universe. Yeah, okay. Meditative breathing. Yeah, I'll give you that one. But how many people actually know how to do that? That's something that you've got to learn how to do. Again, the point still stands. It's not something that we just naturally do. What has an axolotl has the ability to regrow its limbs? I honestly 100% have never heard of an axolotl before. What is that? Uh, yeah, I see. This is the problem, right? I'm talking about things, and you guys are coming in being so much smarter than I am, knowing how chameleons actually work, as opposed to Mr. Mason over here, who's like, chameleons can just blend in with anything. If you put them on the TV, they're going to look like what's ever on the TV, aren't they? So yeah, what's an axolotl then? Ah, yes, a water salamander. Yes. Yeah, I see now I think you're screwing with me again. I've never heard of a water salamander. That sounds like a Pokemon to me. Okay, so they can regrow limbs. Jellyfish can beat death. Yeah, Zach. You tell me that we're the pinnacle of evolution. Don't see me regrowing my eyes, do you? No, you don't. And neither do I. Neither do I. See now I'm sad because you're talking about how cute this animal is, and I can't see it. And I'm being left out of my own live stream here. How's this fair? Let's go with another question. See, this is a lot of fun, guys. I'm so grateful for you all dropping in. I knew that this one would be a fun one. Just spitballing the questions, seeing where the answers take us. Just having a bit of fun. I have no idea how long we've been going or what time it is, and I don't really care because I'm just having fun. I'm getting information about salamanders. That's amazing. Thank you for giving me salamander facts. I genuinely 100% didn't know anything about them until right this second. I'm being educated live on air. A gently smiling baby dragon. Yes. A gently smiling pink baby dragon. Yeah, that does sound pretty goddamn cute. Wait. Oh, is it a baby? Is it baby pink as in the color baby pink, or is it a baby dragon that is pink colored? Oh, both. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty bloody cute. I am a champion of the dragon. I think it's listen, guys, I'm about to let you in on a secret here. I think that dragons get an unfair game here, and it's a byproduct of the big lit system, right? It's a conspiracy. They've been lying to you for years. All this propaganda that's out there, right? They give dragons a bad name. You see it all the time. Dragon slayers, dragon killers, dragon riders. But you never see it with unicorns, do you? No, because unicorns, they want you to think that unicorns are nice and cuddly and rainbows and that they're so friendly and good because they want you to buy the merchandise. They want you to buy the unicorn bedspread and the unicorn backpack and the rainbow pillows, and they want you to spend money. It's the big lit machine pulling the wool over your eyes. And really, why can't dragons like rainbows? I don't know. They do. This is the thing. Everyone gets fooled into thinking that dragons are these fire-breathing creatures, but some of them breathe fiery rainbows. And it's something that genuinely bothers me because Big Lit wants you to think that dragons are dangerous creatures when really they're not. It's the unicorns that are dangerous. Did you know approximately 15 people die every year as a result of unicorn related injuries? They are vicious bastards, guys. They will charge you, they will kick you, they will do anything that a horse will do because they're basically just horses. And I'm sorry. I'm taking my stand right here, right now. I am Team Dragon. And anyone who's Team Unicorn can get out. Yeah, okay. So apparently Kate is spreading big lit propaganda telling us that unicorns still exist. Well, they shouldn't, Kate. They shouldn't. Okay, she's Team Dragon. That's fair. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, actually, I'm going to do a bit of backpedaling there. Kate is spreading the truth, not propaganda. She's trying to tell us about the realities of unicorns. They're just dumpy ponies. and they shouldn't exist. So next time you're in Mongolia, if you see a unicorn, kick it in the face. Dragons are great, V. Everyone knows that dragons are great. Even if they're not willing to admit it, they know they're great. That's why I hate St. George. Killed the last one of them. And everyone thinks he's a saint. What was that? Sassy was that? All right, V. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. I genuinely appreciate it, and I hope that you have a good one. I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself. Back in Black. I have no idea why you're referencing an Amy Winehouse song right now, but okay. Let's go with another question then, shall we? Let's go with would you rather 5% of the world have telepathy or telekinesis? Either way, you're not part of the 5%. Interesting one. So, 5% of the world gets superpowers. They either have telepathy or telekinesis, but you're not one of the 5%. However, we do get to decide which power they have. So, do we want people running around that can move things with their minds or read other people's minds? Okay, so we have to think about the dangers here. Mind readers are going to be good for espionage. Telekinesis are going to be good for just causing destruction. I feel like in general, there would be less harm done by people being able to read minds. I think, I don't know, because on the other hand, if people could, if there was people with telekinesis running around, they might just be causing little bits of mayhem. Whereas in people who could read minds, they could get some serious damage done because they could manipulate people and they could get into the inner circles and oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my initial gut feeling. I'll go with 5% should have telepathy. Oh, maybe. Unfortunately, Pax, it looks like me and you were in the minority there. Oh no. Okay. Sorry, I was getting mixed up there because I was getting information quickly. Oh, yeah, so because okay, so I'm just in the minority, nobody else, because everybody chose telekinesis. Look, guys, you're not having that dark of thoughts, okay? Yeah, I don't want people seeing my inner thoughts either, but let's be honest. For the most part, it's just when's my next meal? What am I going to have? When's it bedtime? I mean, except Zach. What was that? You're accusing me of being insane. I think that's a little bit of pot calling the kettle black, don't you, son? No, I'm not. I'm definitely not insane. In the in the immortal words of Avenged Sevenfold, I'm not insane. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. Yeah, it does take one to know one, which is why I know that you're a dickhead. I think we should. That was a fairly easy question. Let's move on to the next one. I I'm really surprised that I've managed to do this so well. Before the first live stream, I thought these were gonna absolutely suck, but I'm having such a good time with this. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you ever so much to everyone who's here right now. The next question is: do blind people sleep with their eyes closed? Well, yes. You see, the thing is, we do everything opposite. So obviously, during the day, we have our eyes closed. So we wander around with our eyes closed, and then at night, we have to open them. So yes, we all sleep with our eyes closed, but no, we sleep with our eyes open. Just almost ruined the entire thing there, didn't I? We sleep with our eyes open, and we also tend to sleep upside down because it's just the most comfortable way, and also it's the only way that allows our eyes to be open because of gravity. I sleep like a bat. That's 100% true, and there's no hint of sarcasm there whatsoever. It was weird when I had to tell that to Lee. Uh, Lee, now that I'm blind, I feel like I'm gonna have to start sleeping upside down. So we're gonna have to get a bar fitted in the ceiling, and I'm gonna need to buy a harness. I mean, luckily we don't sleep in the same bed anyway. I usually sleep on the sofa, so what's confirmed? Well, yes, yes. I knew why the mind reading thing would be a bad thing, but it seems like it seems like telekinesis would be like widespread, just general chaos. People throwing cars about and people and just whatever. Mind reading is a more subtle thing, and yes, unfortunately, if we got to go into political territory, it would be fairly effective for politics. So yes, okay, fine. You guys are right. Telekinesis was the right answer, and I was wrong. Are you happy now? Yes, Kate, you're 100% right. That's what I have to sleep with, yeah. Okay, so we got a question from Dan here, which is: would you rather erase every TV show you've ever watched from your mind or every book? Mm, sounded like a boat then, didn't I? I I would have to go with TV show because I wouldn't want to forget about Lord of the Rings, and B, I quite like watching TV shows anyway. I like rewatching them now. So if I erased all the TV shows from my mind, I could just go back and rewatch them. So that's an easy question to answer, Dan. Sorry, mate. Fun though, in all fairness. Easy but fun, which is, a fairly accurate representation of you. So simple and fun. Dirty Dan. Welcome into the chat books with Adrian. Oh, I wasn't aware that I was included in that segment. Whose channel was that on? Was that on your channel? Unfortunately, I don't always get to videos straight away, so I had no idea I was included in that. I did. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for including me in that. I'll check this out. I'll check that out right after this live stream. Unfortunately, I didn't get that as a notification. I don't know whether you tagged me in the description or anything, but yeah, I had no idea that that was a thing, and I will immediately go and check that out. I did notice that I got a few subscribers from somewhere, and I had no idea where. So thank you for clearing that up. I'm sure that's what that was. Yeah, I went up from 258 to 358 to 361. Sorry. And what was that, Lee? One second. I think we're having some technical difficulties. But yeah, thank you very much for including me in that. It was a very nice thing for you to have done. You're just gonna have to bear with me because I'm stalling because we're having technical issues. Because of course we are. The technology hates me. Okay, a new segment that you're doing, and you decided to include me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. See, this is what I love about BookTube. It's just built off people pulling each other up, shouting each other out, and that's just I love that about BookTube, and I genuinely do. So yeah, that's just made my day. Thank you for that. Oh, Dan's adding things. Okay, so now he's adding caveats to make it harder after the fact. After I answered your question, you're gonna add things on. Jesus, Dan, prick. um, so now the question is: would you rather erase all TV shows or books from your mind? You have to choose one, and you can't reread or rewatch them afterwards. Hmm. Yeah, folks. Unfortunately, I can't believe I'm saying that on a BookTube channel, but there's just a as much as I love Lord of the Rings, we've got the movies, and they are almost perfect, other than having Frodo and Sam argue in Return of the King, which I hate you for, Peter Jackson. But yeah, the movies exist, and there are so many TV shows with characters that I absolutely love, and I don't think I could live without them, guys. So, unfortunately, I think if I had to erase all of the books that I've ever read from my mind to keep the TV shows, I probably would. Well, I did know what to pick fairly easy. Or are you saying that, or is this Zach doesn't know what to pick? Um, it was actually a fairly easy one for me, which is bad. I feel like now that I've said that, do I have to shut down my channel? I don't know. Is this something that's going to happen? You know, while we're talking about BookTube in general, can I tell you what my least favorite thing about BookTube is? Controversy. It's question number 2 on the BookTube newbie tag. Now, I think we should get together as a community and agree that the newbies don't have to answer that bloody question anymore. What fun or unique thing do you think that you can bring to BookTube? It's the most awkward, weird job interview question. And every single person that does the BookTube newbie tag gets to that question and they're like, what the bloody hell do I say for this? And it's just the worst. It's just the worst. So can we please agree as a community? Let's just like all band together and agree that the newbies don't have to do that anymore. So I think we should go for another question now. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go for another question. Do you ever read more than one book at the same time? No. No, I don't. Uh, I I can't imagine doing it, to be honest. When I hear about other booktubers who like manage to keep together like 5 different books at the same time, it just makes no sense to me because I can barely keep one plot straight. Just can't imagine. I don't even watch multiple TV shows at the same time. but I can't imagine having 5 different series on the go and being like, "Okay, so I'll read series 1 in the morning, I'll read series 2 in the afternoon, and then, switch throughout the day." I just can't imagine doing that. It just seems really weird to me, and I'm in awe of anybody who can do it. But no, I read one thing. No, I know, Pax. I saw you say that in the currently reading tag recently. If any of you are here and you don't know about Pax, which I genuinely can't believe because she's amazing, go over and check out Pax Panic. She does amazing videos. She's got some of the best book reviews that I've seen. She does panic poetry, which is amazing. And yeah, you need Pax in your life. But yeah, I did see you say that you couldn't read multiple books either, which again, birds of a feather. Oh yes, it just keeps adding up, Pax. What was that? Sorry, Lee. I do try my best to be kind, but in all fairness, you deserve it. So there you go. So I think we were on a question, weren't we? I've just completely. Yeah, it was the multiple books at once. Yeah, but no, yeah, I think we were coming towards the end of that anyway. I can't read multiple books at the same time, and I'm jealous of anybody who can because that's how people get so many books read. Why don't you read Braille? Well, the answer is fairly simple because it's effort. It's lots and lots of effort. I don't know whether you guys have ever seen a Braille book, right? But it's massive. It's massive, guys. So, unfortunately, as a kid, we labored under the false impression, the wistful hopefulness that we would be able to preserve my vision all of my life. And as I got older, it became obvious that that wasn't going to happen. But I wasn't. They didn't attempt to teach me Braille at school until I was 16. So I was in my last year of school. We're getting ready for like the exams for GCSEs or the finals, as the Americans would say. And so we're getting ready for the exams, and they're trying to teach me Braille. Bearing in mind at this point, I'm quite into reading. I'm fairly advanced at it. I'm a strong reader. So I'm reading like these, just proper books, and then all of a sudden I've got to go to Braille, and it's learning a different language, and not only that, it's learning a language that you have to feel with your hands. So I've got to learn it, and I've also got to read "The Cat Sat on the Mat" and all of the bollocks things that you learn while you're learning to read, and it just didn't work. And unfortunately, I gave up on it, and it just didn't work, and I don't. Thus, I can't read Braille. But when I first started learning to use it, my dad, as an incentive, he bought me he bought me one of the Harry Potter books. I think it was Chamber of Secrets. He bought me the Braille version of Chamber of Secrets. It was 2 cardboard boxes full of books, like different bind ups of like, it was 2 cardboard boxes worth of books. And it's just like, yeah, that seems insufficient. Not insufficient. That seems inefficient is what I meant to say. So no, I don't read Braille, and that's why. Let's do a would you rather. Would you rather be brutally insulted for an hour straight by Simon Cowell or spend an hour with Piers Morgan? I would have to go with Simon Cowell, I think. Even though even though I know that the insults that he could give me would be absolutely soul destroying. And after the hour, I would be mentally drained and incredibly sad. I can't imagine spending an hour with Piers Morgan. That's That's almost guaranteed jail time for me because I would probably punch him in the face. He's unbearable. This, I, I mean, just as an example of one second, I just need to adjust my headphones. As an example of how unbearable Piers Morgan is, I saw a clip the other day of him saying something. I saw a clip of him saying something, and I happened to agree with the thing that he was saying, but he still annoyed me. I was annoyed at him and I agreed with what he was saying, but he's so unbearable that even though I agreed, I was still furious with him. So no, I couldn't spend an hour with Piers Morgan. Don't know whether the Americans in the audience know who Piers Morgan is. I'm sure you know who Simon Cowell is, but I don't know about Piers Morgan. But what about you guys? Have you got an answer for that? Nope, nobody's got an answer for that. Okay, so let's do another question then. Yes, I'm not surprised that Zach is aware who Piers Morgan is. See, Pax, I just think the more we answer these questions, the more I realise that we just are kindred spirits. Me and you, we're on the same spiritual path. We both hate Piers Morgan. We both love dragons. We'd both live on the moon. We both like silly bollocks. Well, sorry to tell you, but you're wrong, guys. I, I, I just can't stand Piers Morgan. I've seen clips of him defending people who use guide dogs, and I still found him annoying in those clips. Just the tone of voice that he uses, the language that he uses, I just find him unbearable. But anyway, I digress, and we're going to move on to another question. If you had to be stranded on a desert island with your worst enemy or alone, which one would you choose? Easy, I'd be stranded with my worst enemy because well, I'm not going to pass up a chance for a free meal. If let's face it, if I have to be there alone, I'm not going to be very good at finding food. I don't eat vegetables, so I'm not going to be able to pick the local wildlife. I'm terrified of the ocean, so I'm not going to be able to fish. I'm not going to be able to hunt because I'm blind. So I go with my worst enemy. I wait till he's sleeping, and then I do something that leads to their death, and then I eat them. Simple as. Problem solved. I don't believe you don't have a worst enemy, Dan. There's someone that annoys you enough to be classed as your worst enemy. Don't know who mine is though. Yeah, it doesn't have to be your worst enemy, it's just the person you dislike the most. Like, for me, it would be it would be my ex next door neighbor, Stacy. I would say that she was my worst enemy, and I would happily be stuck on an island with her so I could eat her. It would be easy and you would get away with it, but you don't need to be quite so eager about it, Zach. Are you my worst enemy? I mean, you're pretty bloody close, yeah. I'm glad you liked that answer, Pax. As a horror fan, I'm not surprised that you like that answer. I mean, yeah, obviously, if I mean, I don't know. I mean, if we were let's tone it down here. I think we're all advocating for murder a bit too much. I mean, yes, I would like to I would like to punch my worst enemy in the face. Maybe. I mean, even that seems extreme. I don't know. I'd like to scowl at her. I think that's about as far as it would go, yeah. Or maybe like at the most extreme would probably be scratching their car with my blind cane. That'd be pretty fun. Because I can if I do that, I can pretend that I did it on accident and then nobody knows about it and they can't say anything because I'm disabled. "Oh, sorry. I had no idea your car was there." And that's why it's got the big massive scratch all along the side that spells out dickhead. Dan would just be stuck on the island with everybody. Th yeah, yeah, fair point. He wouldn't take anyone. Yeah. But if he was gonna be stuck with his worst enemy, he would be stuck with everybody. Oh, Dan, you're such a supervillain. The majority of the population of the Earth is your enemy. You wouldn't put your worst enemy in your mouth? I mean, you make it sound a little bit more sexual than I was intending, to be fair, but I would most certainly chow down on my worst enemy if I was stuck on a desert island. I'm sorry, but I would. Anyone else? Remember, guys, if you've got a question that you would like to ask, I'm happy to answer it. We'll get another one off the list for now. Have you ever been told that you look like a famous person? Who was it? Yes. Yes, I have. I've been told many, many times that I look like Dave Grohl. And it's mostly because I have long hair and a goatee, I think. It's not like I actually look like Dave Grohl. Um, but yeah, I've got that a lot of times, and that's 100%. Oh dear, like, of all the people it could be. I mean, Dave Grohl's he's fairly cool, but I don't necessarily know whether I think he's you know, I'm not going to be rushing out to go on a date with Dave Grohl. Is what I'm saying. Yes, yes, you get Chad Kruger a lot. I know about that. Yeah, and Saw. What, as in Jigsaw? Oh dear, that is a bad mixture. Oh, you look like a mixture between Chad Kruger and Jigsaw. Oh, Thor. Ah, sorry. That's that was my bad. I was just totally mishearing what Lee was saying through my headphones. Yeah, Jigsaw and Thor, you know, sounds different, looks completely it sounds the same, looks completely different. Dan, you get someone right. And I'm sure you've said that you get someone before. Dan, I'm sure Dan has said that he gets told he looks like someone. What about you, Pax? Anyone ever compare you to a celebrity? Yes. Yes, that's it, Jesus. Now, when he says Jesus, he doesn't mean that he gets compared to Jesus Christ. He gets compared to Jesus from The Walking Dead. And I can't comment on that because I've never seen Jesus, so I don't know whether that's accurate or not. Lee says you have the hair done. So oh no, apparently I'm wrong on this one. I'm wrong on the source of my own best friend's misery. He gets apparently he gets both Jesus, the character from Walking Dead, and Jesus Christ. And in all fairness, Dan, you should milk that, mate. You should get a lot of chocolate for that at Easter. Oh, see, it's the one thing we differ on. I've had a celebrity lookalike and you haven't. But in all fairness, you're the lucky one there. Yeah, you should definitely be okay with that because once you get that, once you get the celebrity lookalike thing, that's it then. Everyone you meet has to tell you that you look like Dave Grohl. And it's, yes, I know I look like Dave Grohl. Get over it. Let's go for another question then. Right after I've taken a drink. Because my mouth is getting very dry right now. If you were given the opportunity to see one thing, what would it be? Okay, if I was given the opportunity to see one thing, what would it be? I mean, this is going to sound really self-centered now, but I'd probably pick my own face because it's been a long time since I saw my own face. It's probably been, oh God, how long will it have been since I saw a picture of my own face? I mean, at least 8 years. Um, and I just, I want to know if I look like Dave Grohl or not. I want to see if that's something that I've grown into or not. But yeah, I would just love to see now that I'm getting dangerously close to 30. I would love to know what I look like now because I still have a very youthful image of my own face, and I'm just fascinated to know what I look like now that I'm a man. So yeah, I'd probably pick my own face. If I wasn't gonna go with my own face, I'd probably go with, I don't know, a cute puppy, maybe Tigger. Uh, but I think I'd rather see a puppy rather than Tigger. YouTube censored my last question. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to check Facebook, unfortunately. No, unfortunately, Zach, I'm not gonna be able to check Facebook while we're doing this. So maybe don't ask questions that get censored by YouTube. Um, but yeah, if I had to choose something that wasn't my face and was a serious answer, I mean, I would quite like to see Tigger because Lee says he's got a really cute, miserable face, and since he's come to live with us, he's grown on me quite a lot. I've always been more of a dog person, but since I've been in my 20s, cats have grown on me quite a bit. I think it's because, to start with, my mum has a cat called Alfie, who is just the most friendliest animal I've ever seen in my life. And whenever I go around my mum's, I always joke that I'm going to see him rather than her. And yeah, I just think seeing Tigger would be fairly cute. But is there anything else? What else would I like to see? Um, I don't know. No. Sorry, I was stalling then for a moment because Lee was trying to see if we could get Zach's message on Facebook, but it's not working out very well. Sorry, mate. Sorry about that. We'll move on to another question instead. Also, what time is it? Oh well. Okay, we'll make these the last few questions and then we'll wrap up because it's just separate it into separate things, Zach. If you're determined to send it through, just separate it, and then it won't know what you're trying to say. Trying to trick YouTube into letting you say whatever you want by separating the question into individual words. Let's go. Let's go with another question while Zach's trying to manipulate YouTube and get my stream taken down. Would you rather be forced to dance or sing along with every song that you hear? Oh, that's a difficult one. I mean, I pretty much sing along with any song I hear now anyway. If I'm wandering around a supermarket and I hear a song, I'm one of those people. I'm like just going around, and then it's like, "Let's dance, put on your dancing shoes and dance the blues." Just in the middle of the aisle, mostly to embarrass Lee. Yeah, I'd probably go with I'd probably go with singing. I'm not very good at dancing. Being forced to break out into dancing whenever you hear a song seems fairly intrusive, and I feel like you wouldn't be able to get as much done. At least if you're forced to sing, you can carry on doing what you were doing. So yeah, I'd go with being forced to sing. And we have Zach's question now, so it's here we go. Okay, so if there was a button in front of me and every time I pressed it, I got $1 billion, but somebody died, would I press it? Oh, I'd press it once. Yeah. I only need $1 billion. Why would I need to press it more than once? I mean, I seriously, I'm a billionaire. Yes, okay, I'm only a once over billionaire, but I'm never gonna live the sort of lifestyle in which $1 billion is gonna be used. So yes, I'd kill the person and I'd take the 1 billion and then I don't know, I'd feel guilty for the rest of my life, but I'd still be rich, so who cares? uh, yeah, when it comes to Bowie, I actually here's a funny story, Pax. So as a teenager, I was convinced that I could sing, and I used to do whenever I went to see my nana and granddad, who live about 2 hours from me. I'd go up and we'd go to the pub and we'd do karaoke, and I always used to do "Life on Mars" was my karaoke song. I I do have a fondness for Bowie, not for his entire catalog because I've never gone hardcore into him, but so some of the more well-known songs like "Life on Mars" and "The Gene Genie" and just all the ones that you'd sort of expect. I'm like a mainstream Bowie fan, but I do think he's pretty bloody good, and I've got a lot of respect for him for the fact that he managed to stay relevant. His career was so long, and he managed to stay relevant in all the different decades. He managed to adapt his style so that he was still commercially successful, and I just think that that's amazing. There's not many people out there that have achieved that. So yeah, got a lot of respect for Bowie. I'm glad my answer passed your muster, Zach. I'm so glad that I got your approval because I really needed it. Right, okay. I think that we're going to wrap it up here because it's getting quite late for my time, and I just think that that's what we need to do. But I've had a lot of fun with this, and we'll definitely do it again because I didn't use all of the questions that we had. So, there's some ammo for next time. Like I said, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. GMT, I'll be over on greener side of Sam's channel. We'll be doing a live stream. We'll be doing a bit of two truths and a lie, trying to figure out which fact is a lie. And it's going to be a little fun game, and I'm really looking forward to it. Wednesday night, I'll be over on Adventurous Publications. We'll be doing some reactions, and Saturday we'll be doing even more reactions. So yeah, apparently I'm live streaming almost every day this week, except for the 4 days that I'm not. But yeah, thanks ever so much for spending time with me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you had a good time. Uh, Make sure you come back next time because I think that it'll be even better as we get more streamlined with what we're doing. I think this will get better and better. But thanks ever so much for spending time with me today, guys. Until next time, take care. For now, I'm off, and you should have a good one.